Hello viewers, welcome back to Inside the Life of African Leaders. Today we're diving into the fascinating early life of one of Africa's most influential figures, Kwameh Nkrumah. Let's start at the very beginning. In this video we'll talk about key points such as early life and background, path to power, controversial actions, family life, legacy, and impact. We will also uncover some of the hidden secrets known only by a select few. So stick around, and if you enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications icon. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: Early Life and Background. Kwameh Nkrumah was born on September 21, 1909, in the small village of Nkrumah in the western region of the Gold Coast, now Ghana. Nkrumah was raised by his mother, Elizabeth Nyaba, a retail trader, and his father, Kofi Nganloma, who was a goldsmith. His upbringing in a modest family instilled in him the values of hard work and determination. Education and early influences. Nkrumah began his education at an elementary school in Hafasini. He later attended the government training college in Nkrumah, where he trained as a teacher. Nkrumah's intellectual curiosity and passion for learning led him to pursue further studies abroad. In 1935, he traveled to the United States, where he enrolled at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. He later earned a Bachelor of Arts degree and a Bachelor of Sacred Theology degree. Nkrumah continued his education at the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned a Master of Science in Education and a Master of Arts in Philosophy. During his time in the United States and later in the United Kingdom, Nkrumah was deeply influenced by Pan-Africanist ideas. He engaged with prominent figures such as Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, and George Padmore, who shaped his vision of African unity and independence. These experiences and interactions played a crucial role in shaping his political ideology and commitment to the liberation of African nations from colonial rule. Chapter 2: Path to Power. Initial political involvement. Kwameh Nkrumah's political journey began during his time in the United States and the United Kingdom, where he became deeply involved in student activism and Pan-Africanist movements. Influenced by prominent figures like George Padmore and W.E.B. Du Bois, Nkrumah developed a strong vision for a liberated and united Africa. Key events leading to his rise. In 1947, Nkrumah returned to the Gold Coast and joined the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, a political party advocating for self-governance. However, Nkrumah's vision was more radical than that of the UGC, leading him to found his own party, the Convention People's Party, CPP, in 1949. Major milestones and challenges. Nkrumah's strategy involved organizing nonviolent protests and strikes, which garnered significant public support, but also led to his imprisonment in 1950. Despite being in prison, his influence continued to grow. In 1951, following a landslide victory for the CPP in national elections, Nkrumah was released and became the leader of government business. Later, he became the first prime minister of the Gold Coast. His leadership reached a historic peak on March 6, 1957, when the Gold Coast gained independence from British colonial rule and was renamed Ghana. Nkrumah became the first prime minister and later the first president of Ghana, solidifying his role in the country's transition to independence. Chapter 3: Controversial Actions and Decisions. Kwameh Nkrumah's tenure as Ghana's leader was marked by several controversial actions and decisions. One of his major controversies was his move towards establishing a one-party state. In 1960, Nkrumah declared Ghana a republic and adopted a new constitution that solidified the CPP's control, effectively eliminating political pluralism. This shift was accompanied by the introduction of preventive detention laws, which allowed the government to imprison political opponents without trial, further limiting political dissent. Nkrumah's policies also included the nationalization of key industries and ambitious development projects. Among these was the construction of the Akosombo Dam, which aimed to boost Ghana's industrial capacity and provide electricity for development. While these projects were intended to modernize Ghana's economy and infrastructure, they also contributed to significant economic difficulties. Critics argued that Nkrumah's focus on large-scale projects and state control led to inefficiencies and a stifled economy. Public and media responses to Nkrumah's actions were mixed. Some hailed him as a visionary leader who was committed to transforming Ghana into a modern, independent nation. They praised his efforts to promote industrialization and economic self-sufficiency. However, others criticized him as an authoritarian ruler whose policies led to economic strain and limited democratic freedoms. The controversial nature of his leadership ultimately contributed to his downfall, with increasing discontent leading to his overthrow in 1966. Chapter 4: Family Life. Kwameh Nkrumah's family life was both influential and emblematic of his public persona. He married Fathia Risk, an Egyptian woman, in 1957. The marriage was not only a personal union, but also a symbolic gesture reflecting Nkrumah's broader vision of African and Arab solidarity. Fathia Risk, who was educated and cultured, became Ghana's first lady and was well regarded for her role in representing the nation on the international stage. Together, Nkrumah and Fathia had 3 children: Kamal, Samia, and Siku. Their family life, though private, was occasionally in the public eye due to Nkrumah's prominent position. Fathia played a supportive role in his political career, often accompanying him to official functions and engaging in various social and cultural activities. Despite their prominent status, the family faced challenges. The political turbulence of Nkrumah's later years, including his shift towards a one-party state and the eventual economic difficulties, put strain on their personal lives. Nkrumah's overthrow in 1966 marked a dramatic end to his presidency and had significant repercussions for his family. Following his exile, Fathia and their children lived in various countries, including Egypt and Romania. Nkrumah's family, particularly his wife and children, were closely associated with his legacy. They were involved in various aspects of public life and continued to be recognized in discussions of Nkrumah's contributions to Ghana and African unity. Chapter 5: Legacy and Impact. Kwameh Nkrumah's leadership has left a profound and multifaceted legacy in both Ghana and across Africa. Long-term effects of leadership. Nkrumah is widely regarded as a founding father of African independence. His role in leading Ghana to freedom from colonial rule in 1957 set a powerful example for other African nations. As a staunch advocate of Pan-Africanism, he was instrumental in the formation of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which later evolved into the African Union, AU. His vision for a unified Africa and his efforts to foster solidarity among African nations were foundational in the continent's journey toward independence and unity. Contributions to Ghana and Africa. Nkrumah's tenure saw significant advancements in education, industrialization, and infrastructure development. He championed ambitious projects, such as the construction of the Akosombo Dam, aimed at boosting Ghana's industrial capacity and providing essential electricity. His focus on modernization and self-sufficiency was intended to transform Ghana into a self-reliant and prosperous nation. However, his leadership also had authoritarian elements, including the establishment of a one-party state and the introduction of preventive detention laws, which tempered the impact of his reforms and led to criticisms of his governance style. Historical and cultural significance. Nkrumah is celebrated as a hero of African liberation, a symbol of the struggle for independence and self-determination. His ideas and actions have had a lasting influence on African political thought and the broader movement for African unity. Despite the complexities of his leadership, including his controversial methods and eventual overthrow, Nkrumah's legacy endures as a powerful reminder of the possibilities and challenges of nation-building in post-colonial Africa. Chapter 6: Conclusion. In conclusion, we can say Kwameh Nkrumah's journey from his early life in Nkroful to becoming a pivotal figure in African history is both inspiring and complex. Born on September 21, 1909, Nkrumah's formative years were shaped by a blend of modest beginnings and ambitious dreams. His involvement in student activism and Pan-Africanist movements in the US and UK set the stage for his influential role in Ghana's struggle for independence. Upon returning to the Gold Coast in 1947, his leadership of the Convention People's Party, CPP, and his subsequent rise to prime minister marked a significant turning point in the country's history. Nkrumah's tenure was marked by notable achievements, such as the nationalization of key industries and the construction of major infrastructure projects. However, his shift towards a one-party state and his introduction of preventive detention laws also generated considerable controversy. These actions reflected a tension between his visionary goals and the challenges of maintaining democratic principles. Family life added another layer to his public persona. His marriage to Fathia Risk, an Egyptian, was seen as a symbolic union between Africa and the Arab world. Their children, Gamal, Samia, and Siku, continued to reflect the family's public and cultural significance. Reflecting on Nkrumah's impact, it's clear that his legacy is one of both groundbreaking achievements and contested governance. His vision for African unity and independence left an indelible mark on the continent, influencing future leaders and shaping African political discourse. One lesser-known anecdote highlights Nkrumah's deep commitment to his ideals. During his early political career, he famously declared that he would rather be a liberator than a despot, illustrating his dedication to freedom and justice despite the controversies surrounding his rule. In sum, Kwameh Nkrumah remains a towering figure whose life and work continue to inspire and provoke thought. His contributions to African liberation and his complex legacy offer a rich tapestry of lessons for both contemporary and future leaders. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts about this video in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe and turn on the notifications bell icon to be notified of new uploads.